Hello everyone, welcome to NapKim Math. We will be streaming some Balatro today, and we will be using the mod that I've been building to track the data. And on Saturdays we look it over. But I always like to start with one good thing, and I think my one good thing is that I've had a lot of good things recently, but got to spend some time with my side of the family this weekend to celebrate some birthdays and Mother's Day. So that was a lot of fun. Seeing my nephew is always a blast. Um, he always makes me laugh. So let me know if you have one good thing. Would love to hear it. Otherwise, feel free to lurk. I'm just happy you're here, and we'll go ahead and get started. I am going to switch over to where we are doing some manual tracking still, to make sure that we have something to compare against when we get our output for our mod. But this detail is not much, it's just beginning and end information. So let's see. We'll go for the magic deck today. We haven't played that yet, and we'll try something new. All right, so we start with 2 copies of the Fool, which is nice. We'll go ahead and start with our small blind. And I always like to either get a straight or a flush, where our straights need to start with at least a queen to get us through in one hand. And so I'm actually going to get rid of those and get rid of my ace. All right, that was not helpful. We got a 2 pair. That's okay. A lot of times I can get that right off the bat, but we'll just have less hands that we're getting money from. All right, go ahead and get that 2 pair, get rid of that 2. And of course we get a full house, which probably would have gotten us through in one hand at the very end. Yeah, it would have. But that's okay. All right. I'm going to try and save up a little bit of money first before I do anything, because I like to start building that interest. For those of you that have joined, if you've played Balatro before, let me know what your favorite deck is. Also, let me know if you have a one good thing for the day. Otherwise, feel free to lurk. I'm just happy you're here. All right, Sly Joker for pairs, Bootstraps for +4 multi. I think I am gonna go straight to our boss blind to try and save up a little bit more money. So we do have a 2 pair, but that's not really gonna get us a lot of chips. So I'm actually gonna discard that. So we have almost a flush. So I'm going to get rid of those. So we do have a flush and a straight. Because our straight has higher cards, I believe that will get us a little bit more chips. And we have a full house, which is actually higher than our straight and our flush, which is really nice because it's a little bit harder to get. All right, saved up some money, and no good jokers to show for it right off the bat. I'm gonna open my Arcana pack. Sometimes I get Judgment in this first one, where you can create a joker, and especially with the Fool, I sometimes like to do that. I'm gonna get rid of 2 of our lower cards to try and deck build a little bit. Go ahead and get mail-in rebate. Try and get a little bit more money, and even though it's going to bring my money down, all right, awesome. Riff Raff is perfect because he's just going to keep creating jokers until we don't need him anymore. All right, we have droll, so we probably should try and get a flush, because that will help us get through a little bit quicker. And that was enough. All right, now that we have, I am going to get rid of mail and rebate. I am going to get rid of superposition, and we do have 3 joker slots left, so I am going to buy Cloud9 because that's guaranteed $4 every time, whereas with mail and rebate, I don't always pay attention to what I need to discard and usually don't end up getting money. So that's nice. Riff Raff gave us Greedy Joker holographic. And so we also have Droll for flushes, Faceless Joker if we get money if we discard 3 or more face cards. So we have almost a straight. We don't really have any flushes starting. So let's play to that. I'm going to keep my king there as well. All right, there we go. And I'm actually going to start at the 8 since we do have Greedy Joker. Even though King would give us more chips, we get that extra +3 multi from the Diamond 8. All right, so let's open up an Arcana pack. All right, Death, World, and Diamonds. We'll convert our 3 of Hearts to a King. And I'm going to get rid of that. Let's see. We do have the needle coming up. One hand. It is only 800 chips. But we'll keep Droll around just in case. And apparently it really wants us to play a flush because we got Crafty and Droll. Let's go for it. We have 3 discards. We do have a straight, which we have enough diamonds where this should be more than enough. So let's go ahead and do that and not tempt fate. It was handing us a nice straight on a platter. And I didn't want to accidentally get rid of that before we were able to play something. All right, Photograph showing his pretty little face again. I looked at my data and I realized I'd never switched back to just Balatro. I apologize. I looked at my data and I believe I've won, I think, 12 games so far, something along those lines. 11 of those games that I've won, I've had Photograph. Only 4 or 5 I've had Photochad. So, but I'm going to get rid of Droll too. Get Photograph, and I'll leave an extra empty slot for Riff Raff. Alright, so all hearts are debuffed. And because I am using the mod, occasionally it freezes. Thankfully, I have gotten rid of it a little bit. Alright, we'll make that 7 a wild card. And I really want to find, like, the Hermit or something for my Fool. So we got Jolly Joker. We got 4 aces. Very nice. 4 of a kind. And that was a nice 1 card or 1 hand round. All right, we got 2 pair, 4 of a kind. I think I am going to skip both of those, but I am going to get Omen Globe. So spectral cards can appear in our Arcana packs, which they can be pretty fun. And let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of Jolly Joker and see if we can get... Alright, red card is not gonna help us out right now, but that's okay. So we do have a 2-pair. Alright, we have our wild 7, so we almost have a flush. Let's... As much as I love 2 pairs, they're not gonna get us a ton of chips. And because this is wild, Greedy Joker is going to give us +3, so I'm going to put it in front of my queen because you always want to do your plus multi before your times multi, and you'll get more chips that way. All right. So we do have a 2-pair, almost a straight. All right, now we have a straight, and we'll put our Diamond King first because of Greedy and Photograph. And that should be enough to get us through. All right, Green Joker, Faceless. All right, Wild card, Glass card. Create a copy of a random Joker, destroy all other Jokers. It'd be a little fun to do that with Photograph, but I don't know if we want to do that right now with not that many Jokers that are getting us points, and we haven't built up anything. We haven't leveled up anything, so I'm going to make our 8 a glass card. I tend to try and, this is just my personal preference, I try to make my non-face cards glass cards because a lot of times, especially if I have Photograph, if I run into the plant, it helps set me up a little bit nicer. But it also helps like try and distribute the chips a little bit better. And I apologize for the lag, but there we go. The mod sometimes makes it run a little heavy. All right, create a rare Joker. Ecto. I wouldn't want to accidentally make like riffraff or anything like that negative. So I'm going to skip that. That makes our red card go up. Supernova. Not loving those. I am going to get rid of red card though, so we can see if riffraff will give us something else. We got Joker, which will still give us chips. So I'm going to get rid of those. I'll go ahead and get rid of those too. Get rid of our lower cards. All right, we got a straight. And I'm going to put my 10 in front of my king. So we get the +3 from Greedy first. I'm going to get rid of my ace. All right, so we have 3 of a kind. I'll go ahead and do that. So close, yet so far. All right, so we can actually play 2-pair flush. It doesn't really matter because we're going to get out of this round. And if I wanted to optimize my chips, I would have put my face cards last, but I knew we were going to get through without having to worry about that. All right, Swashbuckler is nice. Let's see, what do we have coming up? The Flint. Can upgrade our pair. Get a voucher. All right, this is where it gets fun. All right, so we have Ecto, Lovers, Strength, Cryptid, Random Suit. I'm going to use Cryptid on our Jack of Diamonds. And I'm debating whether I should get rid of Joker and get Swashbuckler. But if that's the case, I might as well just go ahead and get rid of Riffraff. I always like doing my hand Jokers first, plus multi times multi, and then my plus multi Jokers, any times multi Jokers, and anything that doesn't affect the score. I like to keep my Jokers organized. All right. Holographic gold 3. I think we might do that. Reroll. And keep chugging along. All right, we have almost a flush. All right, that is very nice. I'm going to keep my ace and play all my others. And because they all get us +3, put my jack last for photograph. All right, we have a 2 pair, which we haven't leveled up, so is not quite enough yet. Let's go ahead and play these. And because we'll put our glass jack first, so it's +3 times 2, and then our glass 8 after that, so it gets the +3 from the jack. It's all about optimizing your math. Yes, I am a nerd, and I embrace it. I would really like some times multi-jokers. That'd be really helpful right now. So we have been playing flushes more than straights. We'll go ahead and get Jupiter then. And not getting a ton of jokers that we really want. All right, we have almost a flush. We do have a 2 pair, but that's not going to really get us a bunch. Go ahead and play our flush, even though that's still not going to score us a lot just because we didn't have any face cards and didn't have any diamonds in there. We'll keep our 7. All right, so we have a 2 pair. And get rid of those. All right, now we have a straight. Hi, Breezy. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm happy you're here. Playing some Balatro. Keeping it pretty chill. But would love to hear your one good thing of the day, or feel free to lurk. It's up to you. But I'm glad you're here. All right, we could play Wheel of Fortune. Let's open some Arcana packs first. Okay, finally we get a money joker. So I'm gonna use Temperance to get, or sorry, money tarot, not money joker. Use Temperance to get a little bit more in money. Finally, the Hermit. Because we got $12 from Temperance, but we're getting 20 from the Hermit. So now I'm gonna use the Fool to get my $20. $20. Stonks. All right. Now I can play Wheel of Fortune, and did not work. We'll go ahead and get Director's Cut if one of our future aunties we want to re-roll. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Very interesting game. I'm going to sell Cloud9 and get Blue Joker. A lot of math involved, which is why I love it. But a lot of good strategy. It's like poker fused with, I don't know. I don't even know what fusion I would think of for that, but I really enjoy it. I just started streaming it about a month ago, but I have been playing it on my phone for a while now. Um, so I really enjoy it and love teaching people about it too. So, all right, we have almost a straight, almost a flush. It's going to be a little bit easier to get a flush than a straight, and we have leveled up our flush more. So I'm just going to go for a flush. All right, and because this is wild, that works. Yeah, it is a lot like poker because you are trying to get the poker hands. You just have additional cards that you can work with, and the jokers will help get you additional points that you wouldn't have otherwise in poker. And it's nice because it's a one-player game. Um, Poker, you obviously have other people that you're playing against, but it makes it for me a lot more fun. I believe you're a streamer as well, Breezy. What do you like to stream? I apologize. My mod made it slow again, but it's okay. Working out the kinks of that. I think because it's putting the base chips in half, it's making it think a little bit harder than normal. All right, there we go. So we have a 2 pair. All right, full house, which is nice. We'll put our queen first to get the extra chips. All right. We could get clearance sale to get 25% off, but that would also mean Swashbuckler would go down in value. And because I haven't been finding a ton of great jokers, I am at least going to wait. So we only have 5 kings. I don't think Baron is worth it because you get 1.5 multi for every king held in your hand, and in general, we're playing them. Hoping that maybe we can get a times multi joker, otherwise, besides photograph, otherwise, I don't see us getting very much further. But we will see. All right, I think I'm just going to go ahead on to the next round. So we do have 0 discards coming up in our boss blind. We do have a flush right off the bat, and I'm going to go ahead and use lucky cards on our king and jack. Anime type games and interactive games like the story drama. Nice. Is there one game in particular you like the most? Or do you are you more of a variety streamer? Right, I think I am going to sell Joker for Card Sharp because he does have that plus 10 multi as well. We'll go ahead to the next round. All right, so we almost have a flush. We will put our face cards last. These diamonds are doing all the heavy lifting. One game that I don't know if it fits into story drama, one game that I saw that I really liked that I haven't had the opportunity to play myself is it Blueprints? Um, it looked like a lot of fun, and wanted to see if you've played it or had any thoughts about that game. Gotcha. Variety, because it just depends on how I'm feeling. That makes total sense. I get that. Right now, I am um, beholden, at least to myself, to what's available on Steam, which for me is Balatro. Um, but I am planning on getting a Switch 2 to maybe switch it up with some other games as well. I just won't be able to do some of the um, I won't be able to do any modding or like tracking on stuff that I would normally do. But it's okay because it is still a lot of fun. All right, we have a pair. I feel like we're gonna get into trouble with 0 discards. Hopefully. Okay. That worked out well because we did have card sharp and we did play that pair before. Yeah, Blueprints was the puzzle style game with different rooms as you progress. Dark Pictures game series. I have not um, heard of that. I will have to check it out. Um, yeah, Switch 2 definitely has a lot of big games coming out. I in my free time when I'm not streaming, I do enjoy playing a lot of like Pokemon games, and what else? A lot of the Mario games. I definitely grew up in the era to enjoy Mario games, and I've been trying out Zelda. Had an N64 a long time ago. I haven't played it in a while. Go ahead and play that. Actually, we do have a straight, but I kind of want to go for the flush. There we go. And I've tried out Link's Awakening, but I haven't tried out Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild yet. They're on my short list of things I want to check out. But yeah, I would love to check out some of those games sometime. And oh no, our glass card broke, but that's okay. Alright. Egg is nice with Swashbuckler because it makes Swashbuckler go up a lot. We are on ante 6, but I think I am going to sell Blue Joker to get Egg because Swashbuckler and Egg go together really, really well. And yeah, we've been playing a lot of flushes, so we'll go ahead and get Jupiter. And I'll go ahead and get our Lucky Queen instead of our Gold Seal King. Just because I just love lucky cards, even though they're not guaranteed to hit. Straight. We haven't been playing straight as much. Wind Waker. I'm not sure I've played that. Is that a... What type of game is that? We do have a full house. Oh, it's a Zelda game? Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think I've played that one. Obviously. Um, yeah, I don't believe I've played that one. So we do have a bunch of spades and diamonds left, which we could try and get because we have played a flush in this already. So I think I'm going to try that. All right, so we do have a nice flush. And that got us through. I need to play around my card sharp because that will help us get the most times multi. All right, nice hermit. Maybe we can level up some of our planets some more. Played 4 full houses. I do think I might level up Mercury just because with card sharp, I do want to play things that I'll be able to repeat. And repeating full houses is a little hard since we haven't been able to get our deck size down much. Hex comes at the wrong time. Like, Hex would be nice near the beginning of my run when I'm still trying to get the right jokers. And we have the tooth coming up. So I'm not going to roll down to 25 just because I want to make sure that I am able to still get pretty good interest. Badness also keeps popping up super late. He's great when you get him very early on in the run, and I actually prefer to get him when I'm able to buy Eternal Jokers because that way he can't destroy them, and they work really well with him. All right, we'll level up our 2-pair, which is my favorite thing to play, but haven't played it much this game. All right, so we do have 1, 2, 3, 4 towards a flush. All right, we'll go ahead and play that. And we're gonna have to play 2 hands anyways as well. All right, so we have a straight, but for card sharp, I kind of want to play another flush if I can. Because a straight is only going to get us about 10,000 as well. Well, we also don't have a face card for the straight, so that probably wouldn't help either. All right, now we have a 3 of a kind. I didn't really want to use up all my discards, but we're going to use the chariot to get 1.5 multi, and we'll get justice to give us another ×2. And it broke, but that's okay. That's also why I don't put my glass card on my face cards. Alright, Wrathful is not going to help us more than what we currently have. And actually, let me see what our upcoming boss blind is. All clubs are debuffed, which we can deal with. I want more money, so that's a win. Yeah, definitely. All right. So this is where it gets tricky. Hanging Chad plus Photograph is an amazing combo. I think I do need to get rid of egg, which will make Swashbuckler's value go down. But that's okay, as long as I keep playing for Card Sharp. Especially since we have, if we run into the plant, we do have Director's Cut. So I think we should be okay. I would like to get a little bit of a better Joker now than Swashbuckler then. Or a different times multi-Joker. We'll go ahead and level up Saturn. Reroll. Of course, Smiley Face comes along, so I'm going to sell Swashbuckler. I feel like every game I've ended up winning. Yeah, all but one I've had Photograph. I think 4 or 5 have had Hanging Chad and Photograph, or Smiley Face and Photograph. I'm actually going to skip to get some economy, get some more monies. So we have almost a flush. So I'll go ahead and play that. I'm going to put my king first because he'll get the greedy, smiley, and photograph. Beautiful. 64,000. Alright, we have green joker. We don't have less than 52 cards, so that one doesn't make sense. We don't have that many steel cards, and we don't have Baron, so that one doesn't make sense over what we currently have. I don't really want to sell one of my current jokers to get Diet Cola, especially since we're so late in the game. I'm going to level up Uranus just because I feel like he's a good backup if I can't get a flush. Yes to the Magician. Gift card is also great if you have Swashbuckler, but we have some other jokers that are going to work out a little bit better. And we have the club coming up, so that should be fine. We'll re-roll one more time. All right, definitely not ride the bus, not the time for that, and not the time for to-do list. All right, so we have a flush, which is nice. I'm going to put my lucky card on my jack, and I like to put it on another card, another suit just in case, but we'll go ahead and do that. All right, that got us part of the way there. All clubs are debuffed, so our wild card is not going to be playable. We still do have a lot of diamonds left, which works with greedy. So hopefully I'm not being too greedy by trying to discard to get another flush, which is nice. Thank you, I appreciate that, Breezy. Hopefully this game can be breezy. So the goal is to get to win your boss blind, which Verdant Leaf, I might re-roll that one. But we're in the last ante. You can go into endless if you want afterwards to see how far you can go. I tend to, at least right now, just stop if we win the game and start a new game so I can track a little bit better. Polychrome is nice, but it doesn't really match the direction we're going with Greedy, Smiley, and Photograph. But I am going to get this foil 6 just to kind of get our deck having more diamonds, since we have 18 diamonds. Help us get those flushes potentially more often. And I'm going to go ahead to the next round. And once my computer decides that it wants to go ahead, I think I am going to re-roll the boss blind just because I don't love getting rid of any of these. And I feel like all the rest of them, yeah, Cerulean Bell, we can handle. All right. So all right, got a flush. Surprise, surprise. And because that lucky card gave us plus 20, it helped us win it in one hand without having to rely on card sharp. All right, we have abstract, ice cream. Gonna open up our planet pack. I'm gonna get Uranus and play our big blind. So we do have a full house, which we haven't leveled up enough. Surprisingly, we've leveled up our straight more than our flush, but our flush is level 5, our straight is level 4, and you see that our straight is already higher because it scales better. So I'm actually going to try and get some flushes going with some face cards. And it's thinking. I think I realize when I stream, it sometimes doesn't like that and slows down a little bit. And we didn't even get a flush. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of these and hope that we end up getting a flush. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and make this steel card. So I don't, that was just enough to get through. All right, so because we have our boss blind coming up, this is the last ante. Go ahead and use High Priestess, straight flush, and full house. Those are okay. Not really what I need right now. Could have sold them, but it's okay. Really wants me to get Pluto. Right, we will get Mercury. And I will get the Hanged Man because especially on Cerulean Bell, it might be helpful. And here we go for all the money. The jokers on top are the bosses. No, the boss blind, like the boss blind is like special rules. So like right here, it tells you certain criteria, like certain suits are debuffed, so you can't play them and get chips. Or for this one, it's like the mega boss blind at the end to win the game. This one, it forces one card to always be selected. The jokers just help you get some chips. All right. I don't want to get rid of my 10 because... So we do have a 2 pair. I might play the 2 pair with that 10 to maybe help with card sharp, especially since one's always going to be selected. We might need an option besides a flush. All right, that is not nice that my wild 7 is selected. But I think I am going to discard. It's probably isn't the best when I'm trying to get a bunch of flushes. We do have another 2 pair. Let's go ahead and do that. And okay, that got plus 20 multi, which is helpful. With card sharp, that is enough. Excellent. So we won this game, and the one thing I didn't test out is in my mod, I am trying to make sure to write out at the end of Ante 8 if we don't go into endless, if we win the output, and so that's probably why there was a little lag there. It was trying to figure out what to do. So I'm going to switch over and we will copy our seed, which is really the most important thing. And so we ended. I'm going to copy paste the timestamp so we can see how long our games are taking, and then just capture what's on this end screen. So we got our flush, which for me is, unless I'm playing checkered deck, is actually pretty different than normal. I usually play 2 pairs. 58, 53 purchases, 26 rerolls, 2 new discoveries, 923. We were not defeated. We had $6 left. No achievements. We won, and we had Hanging Chad, Greedy, Smiley, Photograph, Surprise, Surprise, and Card Sharp. This has helped me remember all the names of everything. Thank you, I appreciate that. I love that emote. That is pretty cool. Dancing. I appreciate that. I am really tired, so I think I'm only going to play that game this time and call it a night. But let me see if any of the people that I follow are streaming right now, so we could maybe raid in. I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube stream, so thank you. Make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube, and join me on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern for more Balatro, or on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern for the data. And I'll see you next time. And for those of you on Twitch, let's